I know I'm late getting to this, but of course I was going to talk about this because this is something I've covered on the channel. But I know other people have pretty much run this into the ground. It's already made the rounds. I don't expect a lot of people to view this video. But I know some were expecting me to talk about this because it is something I had been following since the very beginning. And while it'd be easy to just gloat and dance on G4's grave, and maybe I will just a little bit, it does suck for the people that had to find out that they no longer had a job by going on social media. That does suck, especially if you didn't have something else lined up, to not get that heads up that the doors were closing and not have another employment opportunity lined up. That I can only imagine that can be very frustrating for some and difficult for others, especially if this was their only source of income. So in that regard, that absolutely sucks. And I can empathize and sympathize with people that are in that position. But nobody's surprised by this. Nobody's surprised that G4TV would end up this way, especially once we got word that they had let go of 30 some odd employees, I believe, a couple months back. That was pretty much, we knew what was coming, that they would be fortunate. They would be fortunate. They would be really lucky to last to the end of the year. And here we are now in October, and it's done. G4 has closed their doors. And while it's easy to say, I mean, for some people I know they might just attribute it to the Froskurinn, and that's obviously not fair. It wasn't just because of that. People like Frosk and Adam Sessler are just symptoms of a greater problem that G4TV was having, I think. You know, this is just my opinion on the whole situation. There's obviously some mismanagement that was probably going on there, along with the fact that, and we've talked about this in past videos, not just me, but other people that have covered this, G4 wasn't doing anything original. When G4 first started off, you could make that argument. What G4TV was doing when it was first on the air, on television, what they were doing was original. They paved the way for a lot of people, probably inspired a lot of content creators on YouTube in the early days. But when they came back this time around, they weren't doing things that were all that original anymore. They were just doing stuff that there was other people on this platform already doing, and even doing better, and even going more in depth, taking it to the next level even, right? When you look at things like G4 doing, for example, like G4 doing their little D&D, their live plays of D&D and stuff like that. Geek and Sundry's been doing that for like 10 years on the platform, right? And others have been doing it for a lot longer here. So they're not doing anything original anymore, and there's not anything that people need from G4 anymore. They took what they probably learned from the G4 of the past and took it to an entirely different level, like I said. And there's no way for them to fit in this space anymore without something that would really make them stand out anymore. And the truth of the matter is they just weren't standing out. So that, along with everything else, it was the perfect, it was just a perfect mixture for this to be the inevitable outcome. So I have these articles from Bounding Into Comics. Y'all can go ahead and read them for yourselves. I'm not really going to read too much, maybe some excerpts here and there, but I'll leave them linked for those of you that want to read them for yourselves. But this is what I'm talking about, right? When you see people like the Completionist saying, hey, this tweet is how I found out I lost my job, how neat. And, you know, you have some people that worked for the company that had some, what I would say is just intellectually dishonest takes on stuff, right? Trying to make it seem like, you know, wokeness had nothing to do with it. It definitely was a factor. Was it the only factor and the mostly contributing factor? No, because I think if you look through G4's catalog of videos, you'll see that there's not necessarily ideology and agenda injected into a lot of their reviews and overviews or first impressions or whatever videos it is that they were making, right? I don't think that they had that force-fed into every single aspect of what they were doing. But once you set the tone for that, right, which I think that's the thing with the Froskurinn rant, they set the tone to kind of like divide their audience. That was something that they never really recovered from. And it was just all downhill. Like I said, it wasn't the only reason. There was probably a lot of other things, as I already said. But you have people like Adam Sessler coming out now saying stuff, you know, he could have just rode off into the sunset gracefully with one of the tweets that he made after G4TV closed down its doors, right, saying, want to send my best wishes to some of the best and most talented people I've ever worked with. Please hit me up if there's some way I can help. You're all too awesome to not find your way. Big love. But then decided, like this article says, to poke the bear and said, to those misguided who need to send vitriol, go right ahead. I'll keep taking your hits like I have for 20 years. I'll still be here just caring about the good people who got jacked. And then he just decided to get into Twitter slap fights with people, right? With people, some of these people were not even saying things that I would even really expect this kind of response for, but it is Adam Sessler, so there's that. So you see, this person just said your inability to listen to any criticism, no matter how valid, for 20 years is staggering. And, you know, he responds to them, your ability to listen to me without any regard for independent thought for 20 years is quite staggering too. See, this is just dumb. Like, what are you gaining by doing this? You know, just getting into these Twitter slap fights, which really devolved into cringy stuff like this, where he's just ask your mom, I'm doing fine. You know, just dumb stuff, right? To this person saying, I'm sure a washed up middle-aged man like you will be back on his feet in no time in this roaring economy created by the Democrat Party. Excited to see your next project. Good luck, sir. Just ask your mom. See, like, why are you even engaging with these people? This makes you look petty. It makes you look childish. It's dumb. It's like, why are you getting into Twitter slap fights with people? Not that he hasn't before, but it's just like, why even waste your time? Like, why? This is, you know, they want to get this kind of, some of these people, they want to get this kind of reaction out of you just to show the kind of person that you are, right? But then again, you know, I say that, why is he even bothering wasting his time? But then again, now he has time because he's been fired. So I guess maybe that's why he's like, you know what? I got let go, so I got time. I'll just sit here and clap back at people. So I guess, look, if this is the way he wants to spend his time, he has every right to. But it just does it does nothing to help whatever cause he thinks he's fighting for or help his image in any way. It just looks really cringy. It just looks really cringy and childish to answer people like this. But hey, look, teach their own. He has every right to respond to people. I just think that, look, if you're going to respond to people, at least make it witty and funny, and none of this stuff is. It's just really cringy. It's just really bad. It's funny that he thinks that he's funny when he's not. So, and he ended everything off with saying this, right? So I had one hell of a therapy session. Oh, not this one. I'm sorry. Wait, it was this one. Wait, there's a couple. No. Before that, yeah, he even like says he wants to fight people or he wants to beat people up, right? This person says to us, most grown men work out feelings on our own. You are just one of those who needs a little extra help. Pathetic. How's the job hunt? I have a feeling to bust your ass, but you're in Panama City, which is punishment enough. It's like, dude, why are you even talking about like beating people up? It's ridiculous. Like, he does it here too, right? Where this guy had said, he deleted his tweet, but the guy had said, you blocked all people you got. Well done. So F you, Adam. Then he said, you little bitch, all I got is people. I'm ready to turn my cap around my head. He said, ostensibly challenging his detractor to a physical fight. Let me know who you are. I actually came up when shit was hard. Plus she fucks like you, just hide and yell. It's like, dude, why are you trying to fight people, bro? Come on, man. Especially, like, these are people that you should know would never have the balls to probably say any of this stuff to your face. Just like you would not have the balls to sit here and probably say this to other people's face either. And look, or maybe you do. And if you would really be willing to go out of your way to beat people up over stuff that they say online, then you would deserve what would be coming, and that would be the inside of a jail cell, right? For doing something like that. It's just dumb. The thing is, putting stuff out there like this, because you never know. There might be somebody that legitimately doesn't like you and would absolutely take you up on that. What happens if they were to come and beat your ass? I'm not saying I'm advocating for that, but that's what you're kind of putting out there. Like, oh yeah, I'll fight you. It's like, okay, what if somebody decides to take that bet, right? And they happen to be like some kind of Golden Gloves boxer, or they're like MMA trained. Then what? What are you gonna do, bro? It's stupid. It's just dumb. It's just to do this kind of shit. It's just, it makes them look really childish, and it does make it look as what people would say, that he's basically he's just pitching a hissy fit. So You see this right here, though. This is what he left off on. He said, big shout out tonight to those that run G4 for making my life more miserable than usual when I've barely been working for them in the first place. In for a penny, in for a pound for your bullshit. Yeah, you know, because they're the ones that are sending all this your way, and they're the reason. They're the bane of your existence. They're the reason why your life absolutely sucks, for sure. Absolutely. So then we have Frost chiming in after G4 closed its doors down. And maybe she didn't chime in beforehand because she still knew people there and didn't want to bring any kind of negative attention. But I called this. I talked about this with Aura, with Origami. We were discussing this, like, now the G4TV's closed their doors, I bet you anything Frost is going to say something now. And without missing a beat, she absolutely did. So she says, my sexism and gaming segment was approved by all executive showrunners in X-Play when I was originally hired in cast. G4 made the internal statement that diversity and inclusion was what it was built on to fix the past. I was fully supported initially until doxing threats. Now, she's saying this, but there was people that were saying that they had no idea. I don't know what the truth is at this point. I would assume there had to be some people that had to know that she was going to do this, but there was probably some people that were in the dark. There's been a lot of... There's been some more recent reports that have said, yeah, there's some people that knew and some people that didn't. So, yeah, probably... I would assume higher-ups knew that this was going to happen, but I think like maybe people like her co-hosts, because you saw that some of them looked genuinely surprised, they probably didn't know. But yeah, I would think that somebody in a position of, you know, authority or administration there would had to have known that she was going to do this. So then it says here, then I asked for support multiple times and was ignored or directly lied to about support coming. No guidelines, no plans, no help. Then management changed and it became openly hostile. Now, I will give her this. This is probably true, right? Management changing, because I do believe one of the managers in charge there was either let go or I think she resigned, if I remember correctly. And then you had Blair Herter, which was one of her supporters, and that I'm sure he supported her up until he left, which wasn't long after she went on her rant, right? You remember this when he tweeted this out, which this tweet is deleted now, right? The one that he linked, which was the G4TV tweet that everybody remembers, where they shared the Frosk segment where she went on her infamous rant that they ended up quietly deleting along with the video on YouTube, the video of her rant, which they quietly deleted off of their YouTube channel as well. So yeah, it seemed like they were quietly withdrawing their support of Frosk at that point, right? They realized, oh man, this isn't helping us, and they got rid of it. So there's probably some truth to that. Now, as far as it becoming openly hostile, I don't know about that, because when they deleted all this stuff, right, the tweet, the video itself, and all that, she was still employed with them when they did all that. She didn't get fired until she made what was considered to be her insensitive tweet, right? Where she said she survived the firing when the 30 people got fired. They say that that's what really got her to be let go from the company, according to people that were reporting on it that had confirmed with sources. It was because of her insensitivity. So there we have it, right? We knew that this was coming. There's really nothing else to say about this. Like I said, it's unfortunate for the people that didn't know, but not surprising that this happened. I knew for sure that this was probably going to happen a lot sooner once those 30 people got let go. Because prior to that, like I had said previously in this video and in others, they might have maybe another year in them, maybe a year and a half, at most maybe 2. But once they let go of 30 people all in one shot like that, I was like, oh, they'll be lucky to survive the year. And yeah, they didn't. So I know there's a lot of people that look at this and be like, oh, it's just another get woke, go broke. I mean, there's more to it than that. We have to be honest about that. It's not just a scenario where it's get woke, go broke. There was a lot of other contributing factors, which I've talked about throughout the entire course of this video. It is what it is. It's done. So hopefully now G4TV can rest in peace and stay gone. All right, let me know what you all think about this in the comment section below. Until next time, y'all know how it goes. The hunt continues.